Good afternoon, Facebook and Catawba County, I guess Greater Hickory Metro Region. I'm Lindsay Kiesler, President and CEO of your chamber. Thank you so much for stopping your scroll to come and spend some time with us. We have been waiting a whole month for this, and I'm excited about today's discussion. And again, those of you that are just hopping on, welcome, and thanks for being here. Thanks for taking part in this interview, because this is a live interview, so you have the chance to write a couple comments or ask a couple questions of my special guest today. But we're so glad you're here. As you're coming on, just so that I know that you're here with me, say hello. Would you say hello? Type in a greeting, just so that I know that it's not just me, my special guest, our sponsor here today. Please type in a hello. Also, tell me, where are you watching this interview from? Where are you watching this segment of our Facebook Live Q&A from? I'd love to know. We've had guests from, or we've had individuals or viewers from all over the country, primarily in this region, but we've had guests from other states that have joined us for the interviews. And so we're glad that you're here. So if you'd give me a nice greeting and tell me where you're watching this interview from, that would be much appreciated. But welcome. Those of you that, if the red box or the live is not up, you are watching the replay. And we're so grateful that you stopped and you're taking part in this interview, even if it's after the fact. You can still comment. We'd love that. So thank you for your reactions. This is the Working for Business series. So we do just that, right? Your chamber works alongside of and on behalf of local businesses to eliminate or address their critical issues, eliminate those critical issues. And so we wanted to call this series the Working for Business series, because it comes to the very core of who we are as an organization. And then two, I get the privilege every month of interviewing some incredible leaders representing incredible businesses across this region. So again, if you're just hopping on, I want to say welcome and thanks for being here today. Before we get into me letting the cat out of the bag, which hint, hint, you might see a logo there with our sponsor in your chamber. That's who is joining me today. But I want to say thank you to our sponsor. So our series sponsor is Hickory Real Estate Group. And today, Hope Rogers is joining us for the first time. She is a realtor with Hickory Real Estate Group, and I know she wants to say hello and say a couple words about who she is and what she does. So Hope, welcome.
Thanks, Lindsay. I'm super excited to be here. So again, my name is Hope Rogers. I'm an agent with Hickory Real Estate Group. Obviously no secret that this market is a little wild right now. I feel like sellers are selling their homes super quickly, while buyers are also able to take advantage of the super low interest rates. So if you're interested in buying or selling your home, or just want to kind of weigh out your options, feel free to reach out to me or another great agent I work alongside of with Hickory Real Estate Group. Thanks so much, Lynn.
Thank you, Hope. I'm so glad that you were here. And yes, so Hickory Real Estate Group is our sponsor for this series. You heard from Hope Rogers, who's a local real estate agent that works with the firm, who would be glad to help you buy or sell a home or even commercial property. So again, Hope, thanks for being on.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Lindsay.
All right. Have a great day. All right. So again, welcome. I know we have more viewers hopping in here, so I want to say thank you again for joining us. So as you're coming in, say hello so that we know you're here. Also, if you wouldn't mind throwing us a couple likes or hearts or wow faces, or even drop a comment, whether telling us you're here or telling us where you're watching the interview from, that would be great. If you have a question that you'd love to ask my special guest during our interview, go ahead and put that into the chat. I have the ability to see those questions, and hopefully I'll be able to weave it into our conversation. If you just want to throw a comment and show my guests some love, those are welcome too. Those are always welcome. So Now, without further ado, I am pleased today to be joined by Site Director of Concentrix, Fred Singleton. I've known Fred for some time now, and he is an incredible leader. And I'm so glad to be able to interview Fred today. Fred, welcome.
Hi, Lindsay. Happy Wednesday. How are you?
Happy Wednesday. I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm well. I'm excited to be here. Excited to chat with you, and excited to get folks let them know a little bit more about us, and hopefully answer any questions they have, and talk more about what we're here to offer the Valley, as we call it.
Awesome. Well, Fred, if you all haven't had a chance to meet Fred, I want to give you a little bit of insight into his background. As I mentioned, he is currently the site director at Concentrix, located in Hickory, and we'll get into where you can find them both online and also in person. However, he's held other positions such as director, regional manager, vice president of operations, and principal. He is a seasoned leader with 18 years of experience in teleservice sales and customer experience. Before we came on, Fred said, I am not a fan of mediocrity. And I know this about him. And anyone that works with him, I'm sure, would agree that he is driven for customer satisfaction and also goal attainment and customer experience. He loves to see people grow around him. I've experienced that and witnessed that, even walking around the site with him in the past. And his knowledge base includes financial services, sales, insurance, and customer service, and also multi-client and multi-site management. So, Fred, again, what a privilege and an honor it is to spend some time with you today.
Yes, ma'am. You as well. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to chatting.
Well, as we begin every episode, and this sometimes is arguably the favorite part that people say when they get this feedback, is this rapid fire Q&A segment. And so I want our viewers.
Is this where I should get nervous?
Maybe no, definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. So I'm gonna shoot a question at you. You shoot an answer back to me. You don't need to give explanation. Limited context. Trying to pique the curiosity of our viewers. So those of you that are watching, if you haven't already said hello to us, please do tell us where you're watching it from. And then if you have a reaction to what Fred says, go ahead and give us a like, a heart, or a wow face. Okay. All right, Fred, here we go. So what was your very first job?
Hardee's.
Yeah?
Half of the people that are listening to this don't even know what a Hardee's is. If you're old school, you know what a Hardee's is.
Hardee's. So that's where you first fell in love with the customer experience. Good Hardee's.
I wouldn't, yeah. Well said. Well said.
Okay. All right. So what's your favorite place you've ever visited?
Washington, Virginia. That's where I met my wife.
That's a good answer.
That's where you're supposed to go. Oh,
that's a good answer. And I hope she's watching. And I hope you guys will share the video too. Share the video so more people will hear from Fred. Sharing is caring, I like to say. All right, so moving on back to our Q&A here. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Be loyal.
Be
loyal.
Okay, this one's interesting. Would you rather meet your descendants or your ancestors?
Descendants, hands down.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens with all this mess.
Yes. That would be really special to be able to see in the future. All right. What's your favorite family tradition?
Thanksgiving Day, just in general, is like the world stops for us, right? And Thanksgiving Day, absolutely, hands down.
Thanksgiving is my favorite as well.
Yeah,
all right.
100%.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
I would like to think it would be the answer to your second or third question about best advice, loyalty. I'd like to think that I'm very, very loyal, which is super important to me.
That's good. What's an experience you've had lately that you would rate a 10 on a 10-point scale?
So the local Lowe's Hardware, just down the street from us, right? I was looking for something that was very specific, and the gentleman, I think his name was Mike. So shout out, Mike. Hope you get a raise. He didn't just point me in the direction. He took me to the item, showed me, there was various different pieces of the item, and truly helped me all the way. So Mike, if you're watching,
Way to go, Mike. Way to go, Mike.
yeah, way to go, Mike.
What's your favorite meal of all time?
Pizza. That's easy.
Now, are you one that goes around and finds the best pizza?
Like El Presidente? No, I'm not. I'm not that bad. But it would be a good full-time job if that's ever
Okay.
available. I'm your guy.
What's your favorite local pizza place? Give them a shout.
When I like Tony's.
Ah,
Tony's right in right over behind the mall, sort of. That's pretty spot on.
okay. Podcast, books, or both?
Podcasts.
Do you have a recommendation for those that are watching?
Negotiate Anything is really, really good.
Good tip. Good tip.
Negotiate Anything.
So when you aren't at work, where can we find you?
Home. I'm a homebody.
Good.
If I never left home, I would be just fine and dandy.
Oh, great. Okay, so you are famous for fill in the blank.
Everybody likes to think that I have a couple dad jokes every once in a while.
Dad jokes. All right, lay it on me. Give me your best. Give me your best dad joke.
Well, Lindsay, when do you know that you have experienced the quintessential dad joke, the epitome, the epic, top level, top shelf, whatever cool little description you want? When do you know you've got the best dad joke?
I don't know when.
When it becomes apparent.
Oh.
When it becomes apparent.
Oh.
And that's when you know that you've had the quintessential dad joke.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay. The best leaders have what in common?
Great followers.
Hmm.
Because without them, it's impossible to be a great leader.
I'd love to ask a follow-up question on that one if I can.
Ask away.
How do great leaders engage great followers? Or how do you create great followers? How do great leaders create great followers?
Don't act like a leader all the time.
Yeah.
If you make sure they know you're beside them instead of, excuse me, just pushing them all the time. If they know you're in it with them instead of expecting something of them. And that is really to dovetail into what our company is about with our culture. Our first culture statement is we're fanatical about our staff, our employees, and our customers, right? Our clients. Yeah. But it truly is, if you take that verbiage and change it, right? Or if you take that and give it additional thought, it really comes down to into that thought process, right? They're the most important people in the building. They are the reason you exist, and treat them as such.
Yeah. Oh, so good. All right. So I feel like I got a little ahead of myself with the question, but I had to. I had to ask it.
That's all right. We can do it.
I had to ask it.
This is informal.
Yeah. So let's back up. And those people that we've gotten a little bit of insight into who Fred is, but who do you represent, Fred? I mean, tell us about Concentrix. Tell us about the business.
Yeah. So, our location has been here since 2008, right? And first, let me take 10 seconds and thank you and all your staff for this opportunity, right? And all you do to support us. And that's just not window dressing. You really do. You support us and you help us in any way you can. And we truly appreciate that. But if you were to ask me who Concentrix is, or I would start with our vision, right? And I would start with our culture. Our vision is to be the greatest customer services company in the world, rich in diversity and talent. And if you really dissect that, right? If you don't say it quickly, if you really dissect that, it's truly what we're about. And the key difference is our people, right? And sometimes in business, you think of people as just an item or an entity to get a job done. We try to go polar opposite of that, right? And the key difference is our people and our staff. And they are in every thought process and everything that we do. Being a global organization, 70 languages, 40 countries, 6 continents. You have to have a structure, and you have to have a vision with a purpose, right? And that's what we try to do, and not have it just be a banner on a wall, not just be a poster, but truly within our DNA of what we do. There's phrases that we use like a do right DNA, right? And that's not just doing right by the client. That's doing right, of course, by the client, but by your staff and by everybody in the building. And then, of course, that passion for customer service is integral to what we do.
So, talking about excellent leaders have excellent followers. And when you talk about your team at Concentrix, you're talking about that differentiator that sets you apart as an organization. What does that excellent leader or excellent team member look like? What type of skills do they possess? What's their driving philosophy? Describe what that excellent follower looks like.
Yeah, it's keeping that person that's your staff member into your thought process as you go throughout the day, right? And it's treating them just not as a staff member, but, and I'm going to say this, you know me by now, Lindsay, I'm pretty candid. Gets me in trouble sometimes, but that's okay. But thinking them as a human outside of work as well. They have, and that's where our support structure within our company is so paramount to what we do. It's just not you're here for us. That mentality. It's a mentality of you're here for us to support your family, but that team leader that you have, when you get hired, you're going to be in training, you're going to go through that, for a few weeks, and then you're going to be with a team leader, right? And that team leader, that operations manager, that people solutions manager, that training delivery manager, all these people that are on site are there to support you, right? And to help you be successful and to get to that next level, whatever that is that you want to do. We feel like it's our purpose and our cause, per se, to really push and help you get there by investing in you, right? One of our culture statements is we invest in the future. And it's truly, that's just not monetary, that's time, that's the different items that we put into a person to help them be successful.
So what type of skills is someone that's successful at Concentrix, what type of skills do they possess coming in the door? And then I know you're heavy on development and advancement. So, what are these people like that work with you?
Yeah. So I would say that the great thing about choosing us is there is not a laundry list of things that you have to have like you do at like you have at some employers, right? I'll tell you this, we have a current little theme that we have going on right now within the site, and it's showtime. And the biggest thing about showtime is showing up. And we say, you come in, give us A+ effort, be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, right? The biggest ability is availability, right? Be where you're supposed to be and we'll take care of the rest. That's the first part, is being where you're supposed to be. We'll do the rest. We'll upskill you, we'll train you, we'll invest in you, and we'll give you those skills. Going back to one of my previous statements, we're a global company. So when you come to work for Concentrix Hickory, you're just not coming to work for these four walls. Yes, that's where your career journey is starting. However, you could end up someplace worldwide using the skills that we taught you and that you have learned as you started your journey with us.
Fred, that's really unique to point out. I think a lot of companies don't emphasize that career path enough, right? You could,
Absolutely.
yeah, you could start somewhere in an entry level role. And what would an entry level role be called at Concentrix, Fred?
You're just a customer. You're a customer service associate. You're a frontline. You're taking calls on a given day to troubleshoot and solve customers' issues. So folks that have started there are the same folks that within our site, people that have moved away and really went from site to site almost, and some folks moved country to country, right? Because like I said, we're being a global company, you have a broader net to cast, right? You're not restricted to just that one building or just that one entity. You're global. You can, the world, I often tell new hire classes when I talk to them and I review that with them, right? I review them with the different countries and the different continents. And I say, you're not restricted here. It's an open checkbook per se. You write your story. We're going to give you the pen. We're going to give you the paper. You do the work and you write your own story.
I love that. And I'm jotting down nuggets from this because it's really, really, really good. Writing your own story. Here's an open check. You fill in the blank with what you want to do.
Yeah.
With
What's the one thing I always tell new hire classes? What's the one thing that the average person does not like being told? They don't like being told what to do all the time. Here's your opportunity to come in, make a statement, and the world, the future, your career journey is two words that I really stress to them. But it's your journey, and you can make it what you want it to be. Take the things that we teach you, and then you have at it.
That's so. Talking about the journey, Fred, what does a typical day look like for someone on your team?
Yeah, so if you get hired in and you're helping one of our lines of business, you're coming in, you're meeting with your team, right? And you have that support system, first of all, like I spoke of. You have your team leader that you're reporting to that day. You have an operations manager. I'm here every day. You have your training delivery manager. You have your people solutions manager, facilities manager. Go on and on. These different levels, and every person is geared to help you. So you come in, you have a team meeting. We always have different kinds of incentives, and we like to say we're a little bit wild. It's a good wild. It's not a bad wild. But like today, there's just energy on the floor. Music's going. It's laid back. It is totally opposite of what you think a center per se like this you think it is, or you have ever thought it is. It's very laid back. We work with folks because we know they're our lifeblood. They are what makes us exist. So we keep them forefront, and not just on a day-to-day basis, but outside it from a I dare say your working environment. If you have struggles outside of that financially, we have different seminars and trainings that you can go through for that. Health, you name it, right? We have helplines for folks that might be mental awareness is a big piece of, and a big training that a lot of us have went through. And we have an on-site mental wellness partner. So it's not just you're here for us. It is the total opposite. We are here for you to help you grow and get to that next level.
Great. So the past year has been interesting, to say the least.
So well used word, interesting.
Yes. So
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
very interesting, to say the least. And oftentimes we think of the executive orders that businesses had to follow when we think of our customer facing type businesses, our retailers or our professional services or our restaurants, but our industrial partners have been impacted as well as individuals and teleservices like you guys. And
Yes.
so
Mhm.
tell me a little bit about how you all shifted and how you pivoted in order to continue to serve the customer, continue to get the job done, but also being mindful of your employees' health.
How quickly we can go back a year and a half, right? It's a
Right.
year and a half. It does
Right.
not, first of all, it doesn't even seem like it's been that long, but I can remember the day when the initial impact hit us, I guess is a way to say it. It was the 2 days after my birthday, so I'll never forget it. And sitting on a call, and I never will forget the call. Yet you had multiple leaders across North America on it, and you have folks that talk about a culture, and then you have folks that actually live a culture, and there's a chasm that's in between, right? It's a lot different. And I never will forget one of those first calls I was on, and it said, throughout this process, however long this process lasts, or this pandemic lasts, we will keep our people and the safety of our people at the forefront of every decision we made and we make. And then you saw actions go behind that. One of the actions was an extreme financial spend on keeping the facility clean, right? You added hours, you added touch point cleanings, and all those things that everybody has heard, but I saw it, right? You saw that. We recently had a brand new filtration system upgrade, ionization, through the, keeping the air as clean as possible. Of course, we're still socially distanced within the site, and doing everything from pulling every sanitation lever that we possibly can, and we'll continue. Of course, hand sanitization. You walk through the door, you get your temperature checked. You ensure you've not had any contact or what have you with folks that might have been exposed. But we're continuing that. It's been very successful for us over the past year and a half. Our cases very minimal, and when they were isolated, and majority of the times they were outside of our facility. But we've been very, very blessed over the past year and a half with the measures that we've taken.
Well, Fred, we talked about the opportunities that you guys have, and if anything, if someone's listening and they're looking for work, right? You want to look for a place where you can belong, and you want to look for leaders that you can align with their philosophy and where you feel that you could thrive and grow, as opposed to just clocking in and checking a box and getting it done, right? You want an employer
Absolutely.
that's going to invest in you. And I think you've heard that today. If you're listening from Concentrix, I know. Tell us about how many employees that you guys have now, and then what are the type of roles that are available if someone is interested in looking for work?
Yeah, we currently have a few hundred employees, looking to grow more. We have clients that, of course, consistently need more headcount, and with the performance that we've been able to establish and keep, of course, they needed to grow in Hickory. So really for our local area, right? Huge opportunities to come in. You can do that by going on popular search engines like Indeed, of course, right? You can go to concentrix.com. You can call us 828, of course, and then 315-6301 and get a spot reserved. We're filling up rather quickly now as the economy comes back to normal. And we've had some exciting changes. I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag. You'll have to call to find out. But we've had some very, very exciting changes when it comes to wages and opportunities that folks can have. But if I go back to 10 seconds to one of your statements, we think of ourselves here as like a family. We really do. And when we know each other, it's really neat, and really sometimes you don't know what you got until you hear of stories of other folks, right? And the way that this team interacts with one another and supports one another. Are we perfect? I tell every class this, no. And we don't expect you to be perfect either. But we will get pretty daggone close if we work together and do what we're supposed to do, and go back to that showtime, showing up, showing out, and showing off.
What you were saying too, the best part of ability is availability. And that's
Mhm.
another, right. That's the whole showtime, showing up. Couple
Yeah.
other nuggets that I pulled away, Fred, as we close, and I want to give you a chance to cast a vision going forward.
Yeah.
The do right DNA. Excellent leaders have excellent followers. The biggest thing about Showtime is showing up, and then advancement. So an open checkbook. Write your own story. Write your own check with what you want in your future. Good stuff. So Fred, where's Concentrix going? Cast a vision. I know you gave that great vision statement at the beginning, but what do you see are the biggest kind of differentiators or goals that you have for the Hickory site over the next, say, 3 to 5 years?
Keeping our people first. That will not change. From our leadership, our executive leader and leaders, that is always at the forefront of any conversation or anything I'm on, really. An email, you can tell when it's real, and you can tell when it is a show. And with the leadership that we have and the vision that they cast, and I'll say this, the inspection of the vision. You can have a vision, but if you're not hitting your base points, right, and if you're not hitting your targets, you're just, we were saying off camera, mediocrity, right? But going back to that original statement, the biggest pieces of that is, yes, to be the greatest customer engagement services company. How do you do that? Rich in diversity and talent, rich in it, right? And to get that employer of choice status, and somebody locally, when they think I need a stable, secure job that will invest in me, take me to the next level, and where I can have a career journey of my own, they think of us.
That's awesome. You guys heard it. You heard it. So if you're watching this interview, I hope that you will consider, maybe look up Concentrix online, look them up on social media, and see what types of opportunities that they have available. You heard, like, again, someone that's going to invest in you. What an incredible opportunity to definitely look into. So as we close, I know you have a job fair or a hiring event coming up in July. I want to give you an opportunity. First of all, you mentioned Indeed, you mentioned they can call. Any other ways where they can find you? I know your physical location, maybe you want to mention that.
Yeah. 1507 across the street. If you know where the Honda dealership is in Hickory, the street that's right, we're famous for our sinkhole. We're famous for our sinkhole of the past. You go straight up there, you'll start seeing signs, and just off the road there. But Indeed, Concentrix.com, 828-315-6301. We have an on-site job fair that will be outside, socially distanced, on July 21st. It's with Pelicans snow cones. So if you don't like a snow cone, so you asked qualifications. There is one qualification. You have to be able to like a snow cone, because if you don't like snow cones, you and I can't be friends.
Yeah.
So it's from 11 to 2. But come on site, get you a snow cone, and more than that, get you a career journey that we can help you with.
Great. All right. So job fair on site at Concentrix, behind the sinkhole, the former sinkhole, or across from Honda Cars of Hickory is their physical location, July the 21st. And you said the time again?
11 to 2.
11 to 2. And get by all means, get a snow cone. Get a snow cone. All right. Well, Fred, what a pleasure it's been to spend some time with you. I wrote down some golden nuggets here that I'm certainly going to take away. It's a privilege to work alongside of you and partner with you and the whole Concentrix team in Hickory.
Mhm.
So thank you again for being my guest.
Right back at you. Thank you for all you do.
Well, those of you that are still hanging in with us and listening to this interview, I hope you also took away some golden nuggets of truth, both for your own leadership journey, but too, if you're looking for a career, what a great opportunity to check out, particularly with their latest announcements and great things that they have for their team members there. So please check them out online or come to the job fair to see what they have, what opportunities they have available. Our next Facebook Live Q&A series will happen on August the 11th at 1:30. So I want to say same time, same place, just in a month. So August 11th, go ahead and put that on your calendar. We're going to be interviewing another local leader representing a great company here in our region. So again, August 11th at 1:30. I want to say thank you to Hickory Real Estate Group for their series sponsorship. And again, Fred, thank you, and Concentrix for being in our spotlight today. So those of you that are still here, what a joy it's been to spend some time with you on social media. Thank you for stopping your scroll to engage and learn about great leaders and great companies here in the Greater Hickory Metro. So until next month, make sure you support local business.